Welcome back, folks. Hey, so glad you can join us today. I am beyond belief excited, my friends. Woo, 4th of July is around the corner, and man, I got something special for you folks today. So, hey, real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Asherbrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector, proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business. And you were tuned in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Folks, saddle up. We're going to honor not just the military, active folks, veterans, but their families, all right? Because they do. They serve and sacrifice just like the soldiers and the military enlisted. So, boy, you're going to hear a story, heartfelt, and you're going to be able to take some real action to help folks who need it the most, man. So let's get this show on the road, and let's get started.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business Community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business Community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks, get ready. Like I said, eye-opening conversation with the one and only Rick Ballester. He is the executive director of Rick Herrema, see, I said it right, Foundation, Rick Herrema Foundation. And Eric discovered in his organization and folks backing it, something shocking that most business leaders, community members, and leaders don't even realize that's affecting military families, folks, right in our own neighborhoods. So let's bring him on up. Welcome to the show, Mr. Eric. How are you today, big dog?
I am fantastic, Mike. Well said. I appreciate the way that you articulated that and really getting the message out there to everybody. Talks about the military member, and we need them to talk about the military member, but the families. Really, that is the important piece. So thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the way that you opened that up.
Eric, I appreciate it. It's all heartfelt, man. Most of us, we have friends, family, right? They serve, they used to serve. And, listen, it's one of the most important topics and things to safeguard and support. Without our freedom, right? Yeah, we have problems in this country. Look, no country doesn't.
Who doesn't?
But I still see more people flocking in than trying to leave. And that's because of the men and women who serve and the sacrifice and service you guys bring. It's an honor because this is what we do. Mike King's all about it as well.
We'll keep on defending that too, Mike. We'll keep on defending the right for people to say one way or another how they feel, whether they feel represented or misrepresented. But at the end of the day, the military is the arm that's protecting that right and that freedom. And you're looking at what's going on today in the world, and there's some really some pretty insane things going on in this world right now. Iran, you saw what just happened. It's like our military is out projecting power. They're projecting power so we don't have to do this on American soil. So, yeah, it's absolutely necessary to support our military, and the best way to support them is really to support the family.
Hey, bingo. And Mike King was, don't get me wrong, I won 99.99%. He's Army. He was retired Army. So thank you, Mike King, for your service, sacrifice, and all the people out there. You got that right. So let's jump into it, my friend. You've got a story that, man, is going to knock socks off. It knocked mine off. So, and not just your story, but the shared story. So you discovered something that most business folks and community leaders, like I said, completely blind to or just not aware of. There's so many things going on. So something happened, Eric, in your own backyards, right, with the military families in your all's backyard. Yes, what was the moment when the light bulb went off and you said, man, holy cow, man, we got a problem here?
I'll tell you, Mike, the light bulb went on after 20 years of service. I served my country for 20 years, just like my dad, just like my grandfather, my brother. I served the military, retired in 2020, March of 2020. That's when that light bulb turned on. I was like, whoa, that was a lot.
Yeah,
that was a lot when I just got done doing 20 years, 10 combat tours, overall 4 years away from home, either training or deployed, preparing for combat, and really taking all that in, being able to reflect on it, and then looking at my support system that was still there. I'm blessed. God blessed me. I have my family, my wife, and my son that made it all through that. So I've been married. I was married the whole time, and I was raising a boy through all of that whole experience. I'll tell you, it was a struggle for them, big time, and the light bulb turned on.
Wow. So hold on, your personal journey. I don't want to skip by that by no means. Thank you for that. So you spent 20 years, special operations, right? Shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder with America's finest, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Serious brotherhood. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's 20 years. I did a majority of my career at Fort Bragg, which is headquarters of Special Operations, Joint Special Operations Command. That is where the tip of the spear, they call it. Those are the people that are dealing justice in areas that the general population doesn't know. And the mission was continuous. So throughout my career, it was a very high operational tempo, and it did not relent. It did not ease up. And we were the best at what we did. And we were that way because we had great support systems available to help us to be that good on the battlefield. The 10 times that I was fortunate to go deliver justice for my country, my family was the one supporting me throughout, and they were the ones trying to put me back together again. Also, that was a challenge. So 20 years in the United States Air Force as a combat controller. I retired in March of 2020 as a master sergeant, combat controller. And it was a very, very busy 20 years for us. We were at war the entire time.
Then you come back to COVID. Oh man,
yeah.
Oh, there's no justice in the world. Oh, so I was going to ask you. When you came back and transitioned out, right? You saw something that broke your heart about these strong families, man. If you can, paint that tiny picture a little bit. What were you witnessing specifically?
It's a great question. What I witnessed was the mission continued on, and that was a little bit of a challenge for me also, to not be part of the mission anymore, but to see the mission continue, but be able to see the impact left on the families as my brothers went forward and continue to go forward. And an old teammate of mine who actually founded the Rick Herrema Foundation was one of those guys that continued to fight. And as he's still fighting, he's still active duty. As he continues to fight, I'm looking at how he's able to handle everything. He's handling the operational tempo, and he's also addressing. He is the thought child. He is the brainchild behind the Rick Herrema Foundation. It was Rick Herrema's best friend who created this foundation over 10 years ago after he lost his best friend in 2006, Sergeant First Class Rick Herrema. So for me to be able to see it from a different perspective, now I'm no longer in the trenches. I get a chance to see the afterthought or the effect of operations where guys are having to leave no notice. Families are remaining back at home and trying to put on a tough face. We see our Spartan spouses really hold it down, and they are the best of us, and also trying to be strong for our children. But I can also see the vulnerability and how frail that is, and it really rocked me, Mike. It rocked me down to my core to say, wow, I had no idea, because my wife didn't let me see that was a struggle that she was dealing with. That's what makes our spouses exceptional, is the fact that they make sure we don't have to absorb any of that burden. Generally speaking, hey, everything's great at home. Go be great at what you do, and do the mission and get back to me. So it was eye-opening, Mike, to see it from that perspective.
Brother, wow. So because they don't want to dump that, on you while you're dealing with Lord knows what. Like we don't want that having to deal with that. And so someone has to, and that someone is you and the foundation and the men and women. So let's jump into it. Whew, so you said it all. So here's my challenge to our listeners out there, right? Because listen, these are regular folks doing extraordinary things, hands down. I mean, the strength it takes, your wife to do what she did. I see that. My daughter has military, families, her friends. It's just, wow, we're blessed, man. We're extra blessed.
We are blessed.
Man.
We are.
Here's my challenge to the leaders and the listeners. We got military families in every community, not just near the bases. And after hearing your story, man, what's the one thing a community leader or a business owner, whoever, could do differently starting tomorrow, right, to support?
Well, one way that they can help out or what they can do now and what they can do tomorrow is support organizations that are actually delivering services that are designed to strengthen and empower the military family. There are organizations that are out there that are focused on strengthening the military family. You go out and volunteer. Go participate in an event that is focused on the military family and providing some sort of connective program or event that is designed to strengthen them. And that's what the Rick Herrema Foundation does. Yeah. Our foundation is committed to offering things just like that, programs and events, free, no cost, to military families. Come out, have fun. We're gonna help you love each other a little bit better. And you come to one of our programs and events. Maybe your kids get real sweaty. They're going to get fed. They're going to have fun. They're going to get a little sweaty. Maybe they'll go home and take a nap. So yeah, all of our programs are designed with intentionality to bring the family together in some sort of fun and meaningful way.
Folks, you can learn more at rhfnow.org. rhfnow.org. And you touched on this, all right? So before we go to the little shout outs, you got a 50-acre place called Rick's Place. And we're going to dive into the story a little bit of why this came about and his friend started it. But 5 minutes from Fort Bragg, where military families, like you said, could just show up and be together. No strings attached, no forms to fill out, man, just come out and be a family. Tell me why this concept is so revolutionary. It's simple, but
yeah, we call it a theme. It shows up as an amusement park on Google Maps. It is a theme park. It is a green space that has been curated and it's been developed over the past 10 years. And it's revolutionary because it's putting something that is usually accessible through, you go to a park or go to a lake or go to a mountain. It's nothing new. You have, your background is a perfect example. Go to a place that is relaxing and it connects you with nature. That's not really accessible sometimes when you're close to a military base. So creating that natural space and then having a couple different play features and nature trails, and we have a pond there. And then at the same time that we have all the passive and the cool play features, we have a 3-story tree house it looks like Ewok Village from Star Wars. So we have all sorts of neat play features, but then we also provide programs and events throughout the year, and the park is accessible to the community as well. So we stand by the connection piece. It's so critical that the community connects with the military in some sort of meaningful way, and we don't have the barrier of being on post. This is an off-post facility. This is an off-post recreation center that the families can go to, and it's protected. I call it a container. It's like it's a protected container that we intentionally create peace, and we remove all the barriers that a military family might have. Either it's too far to drive, the gas money, it costs too much to gas, food. They're going to have to worry about where they're going to eat or feeding, the whole family, the actual activity costing money too. We remove all those barriers, Mike. So it's revolutionary, and it's something that's so needed. And the military families they show us by the numbers. So 15,000 attendees last year. Wow. We're on track to do the same thing again. And we're building another one at Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas, in Central Texas. So we know where the work is. We go to places that have a high population density and a high operational tempo or deployment tempo and limited resources, Mike. That's where we go to. We go to where the work's at.
Oh my goodness. And it's a model. So I am happy to see it going out to Fort Hood. And anybody listening out there, hey, leaders, community, military people, business folks, hey, get one near you. All right. Because they're everywhere, man. And we need to support them. I mean, I just can't even imagine. So look, hey, right, we're going to get into how this got started, man. You know, who was Sergeant Rick Herrema, right? But before we do that, let's get into shout outs. Hey, Mike King Biz Radio. Oh, Eric, man, this guy pushes up his community like no other. They put him on the Jumbotron, man, when he goes to the ball games in Virginia. You know, he's all about pushing up his community, and no one does it like Mike King. Mike King, appreciate you, our partnership with the Hounds of Business. We can take this even further together, buddy. And hey, no strays out there. If you're building a business, you're leading an organization, you have a desire to make the world a better place, no strays out there. Shameless plug. All right. That's why we got the Hounds of Business. All right. So you can find us on YouTube, Hounds of Business, right? You can find me on LinkedIn, right? Mike Asher-Brenner or Redneck One. That's easier. Or you can shoot me an old school carrier pigeon. I still take those, right? So if you're just tuning in, whether you're on live or you're on the air, listening on the radio, we are here with Eric Ballester. He's the executive director of the Rick Herrema Foundation, and we're about to get into who was Sergeant Rick. And so real quick, you mentioned this briefly early on, but you want to get into this. It's special. The whole thing started, correct me if I'm wrong, because a friend of Rick's wanted to honor Sergeant Rick, who was killed in Iraq in 2026. His buddies and people who knew him best said he could make everyone, make you feel like you were number one. So how do you see his spirit living on in what you're doing?
Yeah, his spirit lives on, his legacy lives on. You know, his sacrifice has been transformed into a gift. By the grace of God, we're able to deliver on the aspects and the values that Rick held and he displayed every single day. So Rick was a person that loved his God, loved his family, loved his country. You knew it. The guy would go out of his way to create some sort of peace and happiness for the people that he loved. He did it for his parents, sending them on vacations. He bought a freaking school bus. This is like the funniest story. He bought a real school bus, got this thing operational so he can take his friends on trips. Like that's who this guy was. And not only was he an amazing man and a friend and just a patriot, he was the best at what he did in the Army too. So he was at the nation's highest, most elite special operations unit. He was at 18 Delta, which for the people that aren't familiar, 18 Delta is a special forces medic. And he was at the top level of where you could be at in your career if you are in the special operations community. And in 2006, while deployed in Iraq, he was killed while going after the top terrorist in the world, going after scum. And on that mission, he fell in battle, and that was in 2006. And his best friend, who went through special forces training with him, and they followed each other, he committed in 2014 to let Rick's legacy live on through this idea to say that Rick believed in supporting the family. He believed in supporting his friends. He supported the community, and really to be able to take that sacrifice and deliver something for the military family, you can't. How can his legacy not live on? So we believe that if you have a strong family, that creates a strong military, and a strong military creates a strong nation. That's something that we know that Rick believes, and we know that Rick's mission or Rick's legacy will carry on, and it'll support the rest of the nation, because we will build other facilities at other posts, and we will change the way that America cares for military families, and we're doing it to honor Rick's legacy and others just like Rick. Rick is one of many who's fallen in battle, and we remaining few, us who are still here and remember our friends, our best friends, we're committed to honoring them and doing something that lasts forever, something that transcends military service. So it is Rick Herrema is present at Rick's place in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's present at Fort Hood in the next location that we're calling a Great Ranch, and he'll be present in all the locations that we build our future sites at. Oh,
and the Hounds is going to make sure as much as we possibly can. He is known everywhere. His name and his legacy live on. Because listen, I don't hear just your words, man. We hear your heart behind those words. And what that man did, man, I'd have to imagine he probably had no clue. You know, his service then was amazing, but wow, look at the legacy, man. He's all heart action.
He'd be kicking us, us naming the foundation, after him. He would say, "Don't you dare." But the intention is there, and he understands, and he guides my actions as I lead the foundation. I seek his guidance in making sure that we're continuing to honor him in the appropriate way.
Yeah, because it's not about us. It really ain't. And that's legacy building right there, my friend. So, wow, it's amazing. So listen, let's cut to the chase. Folks are already in. I know it. So let's get to it. They're like, okay, Mike, stop talking. How can we support these amazing people and what this is? Because it is, folks. It's backed by a lot of folks, right? Some people can't come out and talk, and that's fine. But listen, if you love the military families and the freedom we enjoy, this is hey, I don't put something out there unless I back it 1,000. So for the folks listening out there, all right. They're thinking and saying to themselves, I want to help, not sure where to start, right? Whether they're in Dallas, Fayetteville, who knows? What's your message to them? Where can they go? How can they support?
There's a couple different ways. Immediately what jumps out, Mike, is the no-brainer. On our website. We do have direct ways to donate to our mission. Our mission, we are 501c3. We are solely funded by private donations. Everything that we offer to the military families, we don't charge them for one thing. 88 cents on the dollar goes to programs and events designed to strengthen and connect the military family. There's donations, a donation page available on our website. If you text 44321, you text RHF to 44321, you have an opportunity to donate $18 a month. That would be a great support to our mission. $18 pays for one person. It costs us $18 ultimately per person to deliver what we deliver to the military families. That helps our mission tremendously. So that's another way of supporting us. But sharing this podcast, sharing the message and connecting your friends to this mission, and come find us in Fayetteville, North Carolina, or in Killeen, Texas, and come out and volunteer. That's the other way that people can support. We had over 3,000 hours last month. It's insane the amount of volunteers it's necessary to run this organization as well. Volunteers built this 50-acre park with machetes and chainsaws, and they continue to support our programs and events. So we have the most wonderful volunteers participating and supporting military families. So those are three different ways, Mike, to support the mission. But I think there are plenty other ways that your network and business professionals might be able to support us either with in-kind services or donations. We're deeply appreciative of it.
Heck yeah, they will. I mean, how do you think you got here? Right? Somebody, a businessman, very successful, connected with the organization, said, hey, I know a redneck, right? Let's get him. I said, absolutely. Birds of a feather really do flock together, folks. So, and by the way, real quick, how far away is that from Charlotte?
So it is 2.5 hours away from Charlotte. Charlotte is east 2.5 hours from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Reason I ask is I work with an amazing organization known as Flourish Foundation, all about mental health and the child suicide rates, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. Big things happen. So I'm going to be out that way. I gotta plan my trip. All right. I got to go check what you
Please do. Tell me when you're going to be there too. I'm going to try to set it up to where I'm there as well. And I got to give a shout out to Phil Tetrall, who's a board member of RHF, who connected me with you. So I'm appreciative of all the support that we receive from our board, from our donors, and the military families. I'm deeply grateful for them for allowing us to serve you. And yeah, it's our honor.
All right, speed round. All right, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. We're going to do a little speed round. I'm going to throw it out there and just speak from the heart, brother. That's all you know anyway. So, all right, 3 words that describe what military families need the most from their communities.
Connection, empowerment, and support.
See, you can't stump the man. I just threw him a 180 right there.
My hamster just stopped. He's like, Well,
I want folks to know what you do behind the scenes. I used to run a nonprofit. So what you're doing is insurmountable, right? I mean, you wear all these hats, you're here and there, you go, you got your own family. And I'm going to say leader to leader, man, because I've been there. People told me about it and I had some sympathy, but being there, it's when you run it. It's a life, folks. And I'm telling you, this is what I mean. This is just regular people going out there doing extraordinary things to help each other. And you're $18. Hey, hold me to it, Eric. Remind me, text me, and I will jump on that like right on rice, buddy. And we will. Yes, also, we'll put it in the Hounds of Business. We're very guarded on that, but hey, when we got amazing things that we back, we're going to go at it all the way. So we'll put that in the Hounds of Business, brother. And let me give you a couple more. We got a couple minutes.
Send it.
If you could sit down with every influential business leader, man, some in America, right, for about 5-10 minutes, say whatever you want to say, what would that message be? What would you say to them?
Who do I need to connect with that can help us scale the model to be able to affect every single post for the U.S. military? So the scaling, I think that of a franchise model, a successful franchise model that has figured out how to scale at volume. That's a very important piece. And you nailed it, Mike. I'm one person. I got a great board backing me, but I am one person. It's very difficult to wrap my mind around a national effort, national expansion campaign.
All right, my friend. Last, but maybe the most impactful question. And this is probably the answer of everyone who shares this heart, right? Our military. What would Sergeant Rick Herrema, think about what you guys built in his honor?
I know for a fact that Rick is proud of the mission that RHF is executing. So he believed in his family, his God, and his country. And he was backing this mission even before the foundation started. I believe that it guides our efforts and it guides our successes. It creates opportunities and the successes that we've been blessed with. So I don't even have to guess that one. I know that he is fully behind it and supports it.
Hey, I didn't know Sergeant Rick, but I feel like I know his heart. And it's not about us. See, what he did inspired others who inspired others. Listen, folks, if you catch yourself on fire and run down the street, as my mentor used to say, 2 things happen. People run away or they're going to catch you on fire too. Eric, your mission, the people backing it, Phil, you have started a brush fire that is going to turn into a raging forest fire for our families and veterans and active military. Folks, go to it. Get active, get involved. Any little bit thing, I know it sounds cliche, but dadgummit, any little bitty thing happens, it does matter. RHF, Rick Herrema Foundation. Go to RHF, all right, now.org. That's part of, you got to put the now in there. I'm not saying do it now.
Perfect.
It's already here. So RHFNOW now.org. Or Eric, thank you, my friend, for your service, sacrifice, not just then, but today. You're doing it again. Million things you could do, you're here, brother. We honor that. And,
our pleasure, Mike.
Hey, it's our pleasure. So he's coming on the Hounds of Business Live. Go to YouTube, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time tomorrow, folks. You could go watch it live or record it. This is going to be in depth. We're going to get deeper, and bring the Kleenex box. We'll see you, Rick. I'm sorry. See you, Eric. See you soon.
Bye.
See y'all next week.
Looks like
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.